A red-faced jogger bursts through his front door on a sweltering July afternoon. Without taking his sneakers off, he makes a beeline for the kitchen. He almost drops the glass as he quickly transfers it to the tap. He doesn't even wait for the water to turn cold. You might say he's dying of thirst, but of course he's not. He feels like he has quenched his thirst just in the nick of time. So why did he wait so long? Well, sometimes we don't know our need until it becomes urgent. We have a just-in-time kind of God who waits for our thirst to reveal to us our need for him. Paul says in this Sunday's second reading that Christ died for the ungodly at the right time. Have you ever wondered why God waited so long to appear on the scene to die for us and save us? Like the Israelites in our first reading this Sunday, we rejoice when that time comes, but doubt and grumble when the time has not yet come. Our finite patience collides with God's infinite patience. In this Sunday's Gospel, we meet a woman who accidentally encounters God. Or was it accidental? Perhaps she was ready for this encounter in ways in which she was unaware. Physical thirst is symbolic of spiritual thirst. Her restlessness is apparent. Perhaps she was like the psalmist who said, "As a deer longs for flowing streams, so my soul longs for you, O God. My soul thirsts for God, for the living God." So when the Samaritan woman appears at the well at the hottest part of the day, she's at the height of her thirst and weariness. And Jesus is there. Perhaps her physical and spiritual thirst would not have felt so urgent to her in the coolness of the early morning, in the company of others. If our needs were to be constantly met, would we ever feel the need for God? Notice too that Jesus himself was weary and thirsty. That's why he was at the well in the first place. In this way, he joins us in our suffering and longing. Our God is not some distant deity who throws us a bone once in a while. He is a close, compassionate Father who, like us, knew suffering and longing. When Jesus encounters the woman at just the right time, he grabs the opportunity to tell her of the living water that will finally satisfy her longing. The woman is parched enough to ignore social taboos and directly asks, "Where do you get that living water?" The woman's question is one that we all ask ourselves sometimes, hopefully at the right time, when we set our buckets down long enough to ask. There's a saying that goes, "When the student is ready, the master appears." There were certainly times in my life when, like the Samaritan woman, I would draw water from the same old wells, expecting my thirst to be quenched when all it did was increase my thirst. I had heard about this bottomless well that Jesus promises, and I felt like St. Augustine when he said, "You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it rests in you." But I was too scared to trust news that seemed too good to be true. Like the woman at the well, I wasn't satisfied with the water from my well, but at least I could trust it. At least I wasn't putting my life into the hands of a stranger. It must have taken great courage and trust for this woman to put her faith in the unknown. As my faith has matured, I'm learning to look more and more within myself to that place of encounter with Jesus. I ask Jesus to help me loosen my hold on things that are fleeting and hold on to him for life. He won't physically meet us at a well, but he'll meet us in the face of the poor, themselves thirsty, and within our own inner poverty. Just like the woman at the well, he will meet us where we are. But it wasn't enough for the other Samaritans to hear this woman's story. They had to come and see for themselves. They said to the woman, "It is no longer because of you, but because of what you said that we believe, for we have heard for ourselves." Don't take my word for it either. No one else can drink this water for you. Each of us must choose to drink this life-giving water for ourselves. So what well are you drawing from? One that will leave you parched again, or the life-giving one that fills you and those you serve with abundant and everlasting life?